Broncos Country, here we go. Broncos 24-22 over the Buffalo Bills. That was an absolutely ridiculous game. I don't know about you guys. The end of that game, I've never seen a 12-man on the field penalty quite like that. In my history of watching football, as critical a moment as that was. Holy cow. I'm in awe because we continue to stick to a game plan that allows us to compete with any team in the league. This is a recipe for success for weeks to come, no matter the weather, no matter the location, no matter the opponent. This is the recipe for this team and this team's personnel. It's finally nice that we have a coaching staff such as Sean Payton, whom in the last 13 years, including his stance with New Orleans, is 10-3, now 11-3, coming off of a bye. This is a coach that knows how to game plan and strategically look at his opponent and, more importantly, look at his own team, his own skill sets, and know, hey, this is not necessarily what I like to do, but this is what this team is successful in doing. And that is what we have seen in a play calling style out of Sean Payton in the last, well, I'd say probably about 4 weeks. This winning streak shows that we can compete against any team. And guys, amazing feelings, amazing vibes, amazing everything. I'm so happy to be able to have these feelings. And Buck, I don't want to buck. Really, if you think about it, I don't really want to buck these feelings because these are great feelings. And so, here we go. Thank you for joining us on the Buck Your Feelings podcast here. We're going to get into it, and I'm excited to have you. So, without further ado, let's go. God. How does it feel, gentlemen?
Oh my God! Okay, all right. You know what?
Streak.
I am not ashamed. Hey, I want to have the. I'm going first. Shut up, Isaiah. Quit talking. Anyway, oh my God! The Denver Broncos, 3 victories in a row, 2 of them back to back over the Chiefs and the Bills, both of which at the beginning of this season were considered contenders for the Super Bowl.
Totally redeemed himself.
Listen, it was not the most beautiful win of all time. I don't care. A win's a win. A dub's a dub. We got that dub, baby, and it feels so effing good. Ah!
Bruh.
Bruh. I have nothing to say.
There are no words, huh?
Yeah, you got it.
Dude, welcome to the Buck Your Feelings podcast. I am Jay Weaver. Next to me is the rest of the team there. Isaiah Henderson, Johnny Baki. Boys, just holy cow. Are you serious now, bro? Are you serious right now, bro? I'm just floored, honestly. Because I thought my heart sunk. I had one of those feelings of, sons of bitches. Like when we rushed that and it didn't happen and we lost the game. Then there was a flag.
For 1 second, we lost the game. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? Isaiah and I were on our feet for the final 4 minutes. My hat was flipped to rally cap.
It sure was.
For the final 4 minutes. I was rocking rally cap.
And we prayed. And we
said a prayer to God above. And I'm not even going to lie to you that when Will Lutz missed that field goal, before he even kicked it, Isaiah and I were against each other, like we were holding each other, like, oh my god. And then when he missed it, and then we both just stunk for a second, and then all of a sudden they're like, flag, too many men. I swear to God, Isaiah and I were so close together. We couldn't have been any close together if we were one person. It was like we were falling. I almost fell on the ground physically. I was so emotionally
this is true,
wrought at that second. I literally almost fell on the floor. Oh my God. What a way to end it. Listen, Isaiah made an excellent point. When it comes to that final field goal, missing it, but then getting the flag for 12 men and then getting another chance and getting it. You may not think that it's fair. You may not think that, ultimately the Broncos should have lost. But here's the fact, okay? Isaiah said it, and I agreed with him completely. Calling Sean Payton, calling for the Mayday field goal right there and rushing it, making them move too fast is exactly what saved the game. Because, if they had not forced the Bills to rush to get their personnel on the field for the field goal, they would probably had the right amount of personnel out there, but they had to go too quickly and they lost count. Well done. Well coached, coach. Good job. So it felt good, Jay. It felt really good.
Well, it feels like everybody else has those same kind of feelings. I mean, we got the Don in here.
The Don!
Congratulations on the win. We appreciate that. What a win it was. We got our man Bob Skinner in here. What a game it was, man. D-Rock, we got D-Rock in here. What a win. Yes. Seriously. And yeah, he shares in the element of his heart dropping during that moment of the game. It was super scary. Because at the end of the day, before this game, Buffalo's a better team. On paper, Buffalo's a better team. This is a game that on the schedule, it's probably a loss. This is a really tough game on our schedule.
We were 8-point underdogs.
Yeah. We weren't supposed to win this. But
only Broncos country knew. And the Broncos themselves. So, of course, they're Broncos country, too. Only Broncos country knew that we were going to win this game before this game even happened.
Yeah, and Sean Payton's going to go back, and he's definitely going to tear him up in the film room and clean some stuff up because, as we know, Minnesota's a trap game. They don't have Kirk Cousins, but, they're balling out right now. They're on a low win streak, too, as well. They're still in playoff contention. They're still winning without Kirk Cousins, so they're looking for a win as well, and Sean Payton knows that, so we got to – and it's another primetime game. It's not just that we just won – it's not just that we beat the Chiefs. It's not that we beat the Bills back-to-back. It's now that the league on primetime next Sunday, now there's a different look about the Broncos. Now we're expected to beat the Vikings. Now we're expected to make a run. Now people are watching us more. We got what we wanted. Last year, coming in this year, we said, hey, I'm sick of them talking about us, trashing us in the national media. I'm sick of them talking about how the Broncos beat the Chiefs, but it was the Chiefs that lost, not the Broncos that won. Then we come out here on Monday night and beat the Bills. So now the talk is, okay, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson are back. This Bronco team looks good. This defense in the last few weeks is the best defense in the NFL. They forced the most turnovers. As we said, we went from.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Turnovers. Broncos with 9. Count them, 9. You almost need 2 hands, or you almost complete counting on 2 hands.
Holy guacamole.
9 turnovers in 2 games against the Chiefs and the Bills. Before this game, before the Chiefs game, the Broncos had 7 turnovers over 7 games.
Last in the NFL.
So they were averaging a turnover per game. And in the last 2, 5 against the Chiefs, 4 against the Bills. We go from what? Last place in the NFL in turnovers
top 10.
to easily top 10.
60 women from 7 turnovers to 16 turnovers.
I
and 2
feel
games.
so good, Jay.
7 turnovers in the first 7 games, 9 turnovers, which is more
that,
than they had total.
Is that Billy Timmons? Is that Billy Timmons?
The actual Billy Timmons.
From the 1st to the 327th motor pool, baby.
Yeah.
What's up? Mine and Isaiah's Army brother. We miss you, buddy. Man, you realize it has been 5 years since it has now been 5 years since I've seen Billy Timmons in person. 5 years since I got out of the Army. Holy cow. Miss you, Billy.
Has it been 5?
Yes, it has.
Hey, Billy, you still buying American cars? I know you love them. Know you love them American-built cars.
That's
Good to
right.
see you, brother. Good to see you.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
we went from 7 turnovers to 9 in 2 games.
Yep.
Top 10, the best special teams in the NFL. We had a couple mishaps. Marvin Mims is still the best returner in the NFL. Dangerous. Russell Wilson had 5 incompletions, 24-29, 223 yards, and 2 touchdowns with no interceptions. He has one of the best touchdown, 117 passer rating, one of the best touchdown to interception ratios in the
Mobad!
Mobad
in the house.
Man.
Here's to you, my friend. God, this feels good. Doesn't it?
Pat Surtain held Stephon Diggs to 1 reception for 10 yards.
It feels so good. It really does. Like,
So we
surreal,
did
right?
this with no sacks.
Yeah, 0 sacks on the game.
Yeah, the Don brings up, and you know what? I'm equal opportunity here, folks. I understand why other people now are giving us the side eye of like, oh, okay. Oh, so you're like going to be in the discussion this year. And that's what we spoke about before this game. And boys, here we are. Here we are.
That's a new name. We got a new name in the house.
Yeah, we sure do.
On Facebook, Mr. Brian Speece.
Hey.
Broncos, baby. Wow, what a game. Brian, we cheers to you. Welcome to the Orange and Blue crew. If you have not already, guys, please, would you do us a gigantic favor
and like this
video, subscribe, and share. Guys, find us on all of our social media, be it on X, on Facebook, like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. And also, you can catch every single audio episode of our show on everywhere. Not on, that sounded terrible. Everywhere you find your favorite podcast, be it Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, we're all over there.
Not to mention, we want you to come in here and fill up the comment section. We love it when you guys fill up the comment
section.
You
guys drive it.
Absolutely. Dave Full Glassman in the house has won a bet champion. Dave, I missed on. I had a 10-leg parlay. I think I missed on.
You had a 9-leg parlay.
I had a 9-leg. The only thing I missed on, I had Jaleel McLaughlin for 35 yards and Jaleel McLaughlin touchdown. Those are the only 2 misses I got. I got the
only because he didn't get a shot at it.
He didn't get a shot at it, but that's okay because Johnny said, let me be family friendly. Screw your money. We're Broncos fans.
Yeah, we got to that moment where Isaiah was like, where it was 22-15, and Isaiah was like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "I need a Josh Allen score to get me for my bet," and I'm like, "No, you don't. Screw your money. We're Broncos."
Is this another new name?
No, that's Stephen Bracken. We've had Stephen Bracken.
Yeah, we've had Stephen before.
Yeah, we've had Stephen
Appreciate you, Stephen.
Love the Broncos Country.
Hold on.
That's Brian Speece. We had welcomed him a moment.
He said, I met you in Nashville. That game was insane.
That's right, Brian. Hey, what's up, bud? Oh my God. Yeah, I met him at the Brothers Osborne concert.
Oh.
Brian, it was good. I didn't catch it, buddy. But hey, I'm glad that you pointed it out. That was awesome. It's awesome to see you. It's awesome to talk to you. 3 games in a row. Nice, he says. Loving the feeling. Guys, Jay, do you mind if I box score some of this for you?
Was that like the box?
I'm saying I've got the box score up right now. You mind if I box up a little score for you for the road?
Hey, do it like
Iron Man.
I mean, and throw it on the screen.
It didn't work, but it's okay. Guys, listen, are you ready? Okay. I've already seen Isaiah and I have been on X all the way through that game. New name, EBK 303. I'm sorry, he said 303. I got to throw it up. It's 303.
That's the Colorado area code, right?
Yes.
Sure
303. Repping 303.
Bills bless Denver with that W. Why the penalty, Bill? Shake my head. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask. Thank you.
Listen, you know what?
True.
Stuff happens. It's as simple as that.
Jonathan Blair.
Jonathan Blair in the house. The great thing about winning, there's no talking about what QB we draft.
Oof. That is kind of nice. That is.
Okay, so let's talk QB for just a second. Are you guys ready? I've already seen on X tonight. Jade, have you been on X at all?
I have not.
Okay, the criticism of Russell Wilson, as always, running rampant on X right now. And I don't understand why, because are you ready for this? 24 for 29. 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. 0!
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Okay, why is everybody still calling for his head? This guy is performing at a top 3 quarterback level right now.
Yeah.
Get off your high horse. Russell Wilson is the business. Tonight we saw vintage Russell Wilson.
Absolutely. And speaking of vintage Russell Wilson, Johnny and I talked about this. I don't know if you saw this, Jay, but that touchdown throw to Courtland Sutton was the lowest catch probability. You said what?
Lean this way because you're behind the. There you go.
Was the lowest catch probability in recorded history at 3.2%.
In next gen stats history.
That's what I said. Recorded history.
I would have been very upset if I was on the other side of that call because that was so close. I've never seen a closer call like that. That was.
When you really looked at it, you could not deny that he had control of that ball, and that foot drag was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Now,
I floored on that. I guess my biggest thing on the offense from a Russell Wilson standpoint was the 9 carries that you see on screen there. Yeah. I thought Russell Wilson made the decision to escape pocket and go up the middle, not to the side, where he had to run 3 yards, east and west before he went north. That's the biggest difference that I've seen, at least in this game, in Russell Wilson, because that's the opportunities where he fumbles and loses the ball and has people catch up with him from behind. But when he's going rushing, he's going straight up the middle, not the case.
Yeah, 9 carries for 30 yards. Pretty impressive. All right,
it was clutch timing of when he did it as well.
And his longest rush was 10 yards. That's impressive. It's a good thing to see him doing that. And so you take that 9 carries for 30 yards on top of 24 for 29 for 193. Russell Wilson went for 220 yards tonight. That's not a lot in terms of yardage. It's not. Yeah. We've seen other quarterbacks go for over 400 in a game. Lamar Jackson did it just a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So it's not as far as the yardage goes, it's not that impressive. But his what's the word I'm looking for? Efficiency. Mm-hmm. His efficiency is off the freaking chart.
And that's what I told Johnny at the beginning of the season when I went over the 2021 Saints and I was watching them. I said this over and over again. I said, Johnny, Russell Wilson's going to be the most efficient he's ever been in his career because Sean Payton's offense is quick, read to throw the ball, and he was 24-29. And he's right now on Twitter, he's getting all of the praise. Russell Wilson is getting all
Is he right now? Because during the game, everybody was roasting him.
Because they thought all of it. He's getting all of the praise. Everybody's like, because right now, Russell Wilson just beat Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen back to back.
Yeah. Now let's go conversely here.
With no interceptions in both games.
So conversely, let's cross the pond for a sec, Jay, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
To Josh Allen. The defense really, there were moments there where Josh Allen looked good, but our defense really did their job against Josh Allen. 15 for 26. So 11 incompletions, only 177 yards, 1 touchdown, which I believe was on the ground. Yeah.
No.
It was his rushing touchdown. It was his rushing touchdown. And 2 interceptions. What did you just do?
I fell. Hold up.
Yeah.
See, but Josh, the way Russell Wilson played was what I expected from Josh Allen. I don't recall a single play where Josh Allen just decided to huff it and split out of the pocket and just started running as the dynamic player that Josh Allen is. I didn't see that once this
game.
game.
The whole game. And if we watched the Manning cast, and I told Johnny earlier in the week, I said the same defense we played against Mahomes, we're going to have to play against Josh Allen. Man up on Diggs, zone everybody else, and spy Allen. And then on one of the plays, they asked Mahomes, hey, what do you think the play is? He said, hey, they're going to spy Josh Allen with Nick Benito, the same thing they did with Mahomes. And they did an exact thing. So Josh Allen couldn't do anything with his feet. He couldn't make those second extra plays because we zoned everything off. Jaquan McMillan, once again, is not a fluke. Jaquan McMillan is the real deal. He may be the best nickel in the NFL. He is the real deal. Also, Mobad comes in and says, hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Please and thank you. And we've got a lot of new faces. And
Fabian Monroe is not a fluke either.
Don't you mean Jaquan McMillian, as they said on the broadcast like 3 or 4 times?
Well, I mean, if you look at the way his name is spelled, you could actually pronounce it McMillian, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But Fabian Monroe, 1 interception for 9 yards, and then he also had 5 total tackles. 2 of those were solo. That was impressive. In fact, him and Justin Simmons, you ready for this? Fabian Moreau and Justin Simmons, identical stat lines. Justin Simmons and Fabian Moreau, both 5 tackles. 2 for both of them were solo, and both of them with an interception.
Ha! We have to hope that PJ Locke's injury is light, and it's just and he's coming back because, as we can see in the secondary, when Turner Yell came in,
two more games without K-Jack. Is that right?
No. That was the last one. K-Jack should be back next week.
Really?
Yes.
Really? He wasn't there. I thought it was a 4-game suspension.
No, it was 2 games. He appealed it. And they got
That's right.
He didn't play the Chiefs game.
Yep, that's true.
And he didn't play the Bills game, so he's back against Minnesota. So with PJ Locke, I don't know how long his injury is, but K-Jack coming back actually helps a lot. That's a good point, Jay. That's a good point.
What about receiving, guys? Let's talk receiving. Cortland Sutton, 8 receptions for 53 yards. Now,
and a touchdown.
And a touchdown. Now,
increased focus on Cortland Sutton. I thought they highlighted Cortland a lot in this game.
And here's how you know that. He had 11 targets. The next closest player that was targeted was Samaje Perine with 3. Well, between Samaje Perine and Jerry Jeudy each for 3.
Samaje Perine did exactly why Sean Payton brought him in and George Payton brought him in.
Yes,
on that drive.
Yes, on that drive. Yes,
on that third down.
He's a plug-and-play guy. He's good at almost everything. He's not great at anything, but he's good at everything. Like, he can.
And that game for the future with Jalil not really, getting yards. I'd like to see Samaje get some more carries. Give him that Javonte Williams, Samaje bruising.
Now, I'm gonna give, and obviously we're gonna give game balls, right, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But obviously, talking about Cortland Sutton here, you got to talk about the fact. I honestly, looking at the stat lines here, I'm a little more okay. 11 targets, 8 receptions. So I thought it was a lot more that he dropped. But those drops that he had in this game, there were several of them. 3, 4 drops.
I remember one crucial one on like a
third down.
Third down.
There was at least 3 that were crucial moments that you cannot drop that ball, and it was right to him.
And the fumble.
He has got to, and the fumble.
And
he
the
has
fumble.
got to figure that out. Now, granted, I said it to Isaiah on Cortland Sutton's fumble. It really didn't matter who you are. The way the defender came in on him and hit that thing with his helmet, just about anybody's going to drop that ball.
He's got a history, though, of getting strip sacked.
I know, but if you looked at that particular tackle, that helmet, that dude led with his helmet right into the ball. It was like hitting that ball with a battering ram.
Speaking of strip sacks, Von Miller was non-existent.
Yeah,
it's nothing. Goose egg.
Now I rocked my Von Miller jersey, and I even switched mid-game to my Von Miller hat just because.
Yeah, but Johnny, we knew this. We said this, on Wednesday.
We did. You weren't on for that.
Von Miller wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah, we actually had, I believe, I don't remember who it was that asked us the question, but they asked us to predict Von Miller sacks for the game, and Jay and I both said none.
In unison,
we were like none.
Because he's not who he was.
He's not who he was.
He's not. He's kind of a big name overpay right now, and I love him. But, he's a shell of himself.
Now,
It is what it is.
EBK 303 says receiving Mims needs more touches, along with Judy and Sutton. Go deep more often. We have great receivers and a passer. Coach needs to start taking more chances.
I agree.
Now, that's a great
I
caveat.
don't know. See, I don't know if I agree with that.
What do you think, Jay?
I like the way Sean stuck. He stuck with the run game. He said,
Yeah.
"I'm going to take those deep shots, but in order to take those deep shots, we have to get the run game going." So he stuck with it. It wasn't open. We took what we gave him and we won. But I do kind of agree. Hey, give the guy some chances. Throw it up to him. He did that in the red zone on 4th and 2 to a touchdown to Cortland Sutton, which was vintage Russ. But yeah, I can definitely see some more shots against the Vikings. We love taking deep shots against the Vikings.
This
love
was
doing that.
another duration of a very dummied down offensive playbook. We've had week over week over week of not a whole lot of leeway given for Russ as far as being able to have 4 different reads on the field at one time. That's why Cortland Sutton's being highlighted as much as he is, because that's his first read. And so we're not seeing a big dynamic offensive scheme right now. We're seeing a run heavy and take some shots when we can kind of offense.
Which is what we need right now to win games.
And we're winning.
Correct. And we're winning. And that's what I was saying in the intro is that's what our personnel is set up to be. That's what we're supposed to be successful. And that's not necessarily Sean Payton's MO.
No.
So it's interesting that he's come to that determination and he's sticking to it. And I applaud him for that, because most coaches, we've seen this for years here, where we're just trying to, shove their system down our throat, whether it works or not for our players. And that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. I mean, we did. You're right. You're absolutely. I mean, I hadn't even thought about that, but you're at least not tonight. But you're absolutely right, Jay. Sticking with what you're saying there. That we have so many coaches. I mean, we've had so many coaching changes in the past half decade, and how many of them have tried to fit a square peg into a round hole? You can't do it. It doesn't work. We saw literally the best example of that is last season when Nathaniel Hackett tries to take Russell Wilson, bulk him up, and make him a pocket passer. It's not what he does. It's not what he's ever done. It's not who he is. Trying to change the narrative. And we even saw it this season defensively when you take a coach like like Vance Joseph, and you try and he tries to assimilate the previous regime's play calling, like a Jero Evero style of play calling.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't work because he's
until
not
you give up
guy.
70 points, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, he didn't know how to call it.
But that's my point. He's trying to assimilate or create something that isn't there. Make people do things that they're not built to do. That's when we start to fail. Yeah, and that's what we saw. And now that we're seeing Vance Joseph calling a Vance Joseph defense, Peyton Manning said it.
I was just about to say
Peyton Manning literally said it. That is a Vance Joseph play call.
Well, it was I forgot what the play was. It was Peyton called for he thought it was a zero blitz, and instead he blitzed
the line came out
and dropped the linebackers. He thought he was going to blitz the linebackers. Peyton thought he was going to blitz the linebackers and drop the safeties. Instead, Vance brought the safeties and dropped the linebackers. I think it was a third 3 and out, whatever the case may be. And Peyton Manning said, "Hey, he fooled me." The great Peyton Manning was like, "Hey, he fooled me." So it seems like Vance Joseph is really. It's not that he's coming to his own.
It's that he's returned to what he knows.
It's that the players and him. I've seen they've got a merit, and almost. I've been hesitant to say this. It's almost a hot take, but I'm not sure yet.
Wait, get it ready, Jay, just in case.
I'm not sure yet. It's almost like these players that we have, which are similar to the past, are better for Vance Joseph's scheme than the Fangio scheme. Because now our defense is
the hot take.
Because now our defense is closing out games and finishing games from beginning to end. The first play of the first play of the game. Was a turnover. The next drive, a turnover. The next drive, a punt.
The next drive, a 3 and out.
A punt. So I mean, it seems like this scheme. It seems like the guys are like, okay, we know what you want, and it seems like with these players and the play design that Vance Joseph is throwing at them, you're confusing Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. I mean, we got Josh Dobbs next week, so I mean, it seems
I'm not scared of Josh Dobbs.
He's going to come back down to reality. Cinderella's up. It's
well,
gonna
and
be like
Peyton
midnight.
said this Viking game is just as important as the previous 2 games we've had.
Because Sean Payton's also the kind of coach that's going to tell his team every game. It doesn't matter if you're playing against what's that Canadian team that Shane Ray went to, or if you're playing against the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. A game's a game. It's just as important.
He
every
expects
time.
to win because I told Johnny this all the time. His 2021 season at the Saints, was it 2021 or 2020 where the Bucks? 2020 where the Bucks won the Super Bowl. The Saints beat them twice in that division, and the Bucks won the Super Bowl that year against the Chiefs. But against the Saints, the Bucks didn't even win the division because Sean Payton beat them both times.
Yep.
Man,
When it comes to these games, he doesn't
10-3 off a bye.
answer.
10-3 off a bye. I read an article today that said that he called Andy Reid while Andy Reid was in Philadelphia because Andy Reid was like notoriously good for coming off a bye throughout his entire career. And he like picked his brain of like what his routines were for a bye week. And like that's shaped his whole mentality of a bye week. And it shows.
It also shows the kind of respect he has for others, you know, in his position. You know, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. In my office, there's a lot of competition. It sounds ridiculous, but for an office setting, but you know, right now we have way too many people in my position for way too little work. So right now we are in heavy competition with one another to try to keep our jobs, basically. And I'm sitting here every single day trying to get my caseload so that I can keep moving right along. And at the end, I'm going to be honest with you. I know who's better than me in that office right now, and I probably am not going to ask any of them. What is your strategy? What do you do? No, I'm going to keep my strategy to myself. And so I mean, I give props to Sean Payton for being that guy, being like, you know, to call you're currently with the team that you're with, the arch rivals coach, and be like, hey buddy, let's talk. Because me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, this is my strategy. It seems to be working just fine for me, and I'm going to keep my job regardless. And I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to spill the beans to anybody. You know, like so.
It's nuts.
It just goes to show. It feels so good that this is our first 3-game win streak since we started 3-0 in 2021.
Wow.
Yep. So that feels pretty good.
But the wins.
But the wins have been at least these last 2 for sure.
Doesn't it feel like we got the right coach? We're at
Yes.
least heading in the right direction. Like
Yes,
this year.
I mean, leaving Friday to Buffalo, painting the practice for Buffalo, leaving Friday, preparing this whole game. We don't leave.
Practicing with crowd noise.
We don't leave.
Yeah.
They're still in Buffalo tomorrow.
Yeah, they are.
They get to enjoy the win in Buffalo. So yeah, it's the right coach. And I know for a fact, Sean Payton's not the type to get caught in a trap game.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, that was good. Double down. We can be even better. I mean, honestly, they said after the Chiefs game, you feel like you can believe.
Yes.
Then you beat the Chiefs and the Bills, the 2 of the top offenses. Buffalo had one of the top offensive lines in the NFL. They still do. We didn't get a sack on them, but we had 4 turnovers.
I'm going to ask you a question, Jay, host of the show, the man who bucks all feelings.
All of them.
All of the feelings. Jay bucks all of the feelings for all of us. Okay. Let me ask you this question. Okay, you said earlier in the season when we were after that Miami game, not after the Miami game, after the following game when we lost. Who did we play after Miami that we lost to?
Washington.
Yeah.
No.
We
played Chicago after.
Yeah,
we beat Chicago.
Okay, whatever. The next loss that we had, following that, we had another. Anyway, Jay, you said on the show there is no winning culture here. This team doesn't know how to win because they don't know what it feels like to win. Well, now, what do you think, Jay? Do you think maybe these guys, for the first time in their career, guys like Cortland Sutton, even Justin Simmons, the longest tenured player on this team, finally have a taste and understand what it feels like to be winning?
It's the first Monday Night Football road win, I believe, since 2012.
Either way, both of those stats.
It is a true sign of the times, though, of that. Yeah, that culture is flipped, man. Just in a matter of like a month,
We put Buffalo on a losing streak. Buffalo had just lost last week, so a lot of Broncos fans are like, "Hey, I understand. Hey, we're going into Buffalo. They just came off a loss. They're going to be hungry. They're going to want to beat the crap out of us. They were undefeated at home, 4-0 this season. They were.
I was about to say this was their first home loss.
Yes, they were averaging like 30 points a game at home. Like I said, everything was like, this is the game for them to come out and really beat the Broncos because they need it. And the Broncos were like, that's great. We're going to put you on a losing streak. Now they've lost 2 in a row, and we've won 3 in a row. Like, that's cute. We beat the Chiefs. We're just going to go ahead and take out the Bills because fuck them. That's why. That's what Sean... Bad word! I was like, screw him. Chiefs don't care. Bills don't care.
There's our buddy Ron Samples. Everything Broncos podcast says, great win tonight. You damn right, Ron.
Dude,
it's
fantastic win.
We're also above. I think we're 3rd in the AFC West.
And we should be 2nd.
Well, because the Raiders, we lost the Raiders. Right now, they're 5-4.
Okay, yeah.
So the Chargers are 4-6. We're 4-5. We're 3rd in the AFC West. And I think we should be number 9 in the playoff picture, but I don't know. I know we're 1 game out from the playoff picture. 1 game out. So we need Chargers and Raiders both to lose this week.
Again, guys, though, like, Johnny, we just went over the schedule. This is a winnable schedule on the second half. Like,
I have no problem now, Jay.
This is the game.
Zero issue sitting here saying that the Broncos can sweep the Chargers this season.
No, too easy.
And that you know what is the only real couple of games that we really talked about that could truly be trapped? I mean, obviously the Vikings. Detroit, you got to be nervous about Detroit. They've been playing lights out.
Yeah.
But and Houston has been playing kind of shockingly amazing.
Yeah.
But okay, Steven Bracken popping back in. Isaiah went to do something. He pops in saying devil's advocate. Can we talk about Lutz?
Well, let's talk about the holder. Let's talk about the snap. Because I don't know if it was necessarily all Lutz's fault. It seemed like the timing of that entire process was jacked up.
Well, he missed that first extra point. But again, I don't blame Lutz on that one. Okay, maybe to a degree because he misjudged the wind. But you could see it. He kicked it. It went up. And then you could literally see it midair get caught by a gust and pulled. So that first one, while maybe he could have judged the wind a little bit better, I do not fully put on him. That was an issue with the elements. The second miss, also not on him.
Yeah.
100% was on Riley Dixon, who just did not field a clean snap. So you could even possibly place that blame on the long snapper. Because it was not like if you go back and watch it, and believe me, I will. I'll be going back over the next 2 days and watching all 22 like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be sitting there watching it, and I promise you, you watch that snap, it was not a good snap to Riley Dixon. He did not field it well. Honestly, he probably should have still placed it, and Will Lutz should have still kicked it. Right? You thought so too. I know you did.
Yeah.
I thought he still should have cooked it, but he pulled.
But then Riley picked it up and ran.
I agree with EBK 303, where he was really pushing his luck. He was on thin ice. He was on the naughty list certainly tonight.
He redeemed himself with a game win though.
Now he missed. He got his ass pulled out of the fire by a 12-man penalty. A 12-man penalty. But and so I mean he did miss that field goal. So I'm not going to let him just ride on that. And I said to Isaiah just a few moments after the game before we came on, I was like, Will Lutz better be kicking field goals from dawn to dusk for the next week.
Yep.
Period.
Well, you know what? Hey, Sean Payton, that's his boy. And, he's going to ride his boy. Like, he's going to keep on keeping on with him. Like, he's got confidence in him.
On Twitter, for the first time I've seen someone say, I'm honestly glad we don't play the Broncos again.
That feels good.
It feels good.
Let me ask you something.
It's a Chiefs fan. They're like, I'm glad we don't play the Broncos again.
Does Sean Payton kind of exude a father figure feel You think for the players?
Yeah, they want
because like guys like Nathaniel Hackett, he was like their goofy brother, don't you think? But like Sean Payton, I think the players look up to him like a father figure, right? Like kind of like I don't want to disappoint him.
Yep, I want to please my father.
And I feel like that's exactly the kind of person that he is. He's gonna be like, listen, Will, you're my boy. You're my guy. I brought you here on purpose. I love you, and I'm excited to see what we're going to do together. But you messed up, and I'm disappointed in you. And I think that right there is going to hold so much more sway over how hard Will Lutz practices this week. What he puts into his preparation now, because he's going to be like, I don't ever want to feel this way again.
Oh, Mike.
I don't ever want to feel like I disappointed him. Like,
again. Mike Westhoff is about to get in him.
Oh, you.
Oh yeah, Mike Westhoff's about to get in it.
He's the godfather of special teams. I mean, Isaiah didn't really know about that, or he didn't have a full grasp on it until I explained it to him tonight. That almost, Mike Westhoff on our sidelines for special teams is such an incredible thing to have, because almost every special teams coordinator in the NFL can trace their special teams play calling style back to him.
He's got lineage.
Yes. What?
Guess who was the 12th player on the field?
Who?
DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, that's.
And on that note, we're gonna sway over to
That's
some
the end of the
game
show,
balls,
Jay.
folks.
That's it. We got to end the show now. My heart just broke.
Yeah, yours and his.
Like, dude, I mean, it was so good. I said it to you in the game. It was so good to see him. It was so good to, after everything he's gone through, it was so good to see him on the field.
Yeah.
And to find out he's the one that fucked it up for the Bills.
Well, he was so excited to finally be back on the field, he didn't want to give it up.
Oh, man.
He's like, if I have to cost my team to be on the field, I'll do it.
Orange and Blue Network, we send a huge shout out to Bills Mafia and to DeMar Hamlin. Welcome back. It is good to see you healthy and on the field. I am so sorry that all these things have happened to you, and I'm almost sorry that you were the 12th man.
All right, stop before I throw up.
But we do say welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right. Did you get that out of your system?
Yeah, a little bit. My heart is still breaking a little though inside. I think.
That does suck for him. It does.
Oh.
But that's the way she goes. Piss jugs and all.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
All right, folks. We're going to transition to giving out some game balls, wrap this shindig up. So here we go now.
Give one to your boy Fabian.
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah. All right.
I'll go first.
Right.
Oh, geez. Wow, okay.
Go for Spooky West Side.
All right, so my first game ball, it's my JP Ryan.
Oh,
really?
That's a surprise.
Wow, I would not have expected that.
Because that drive, he hasn't gotten much touches. He came here on a 2-year contract because he liked the way Sean Payton was going to split up the backs. Jaleel McLaughlin came out of nowhere and really took that running back 2 position and got more carries than him as an undrafted free agent. So he could have soured, he could have been upset, but he's been a team player and he's showed up and pass blocked when he needed to. And on that last drive, he was the best receiver on the field. He did exactly why Sean Payton brought him, and Russell Wilson didn't miss him one time. Instead of catching the ball for 3 yards and then going down at 5, he caught it for 3 and went for 12. He caught it at 6 and went for 15. That's what made that final drive move and keep the ball going. And so for him, for playing his role and being there when we need to, there's no one else on that field in that drive. No running back. It was Samaje Perine. That was his drive. And he came in there, he stuck in there, he stood firm, and he helped us get that win today. So first game ball goes to Samaje Perine.
All right. I like it.
Yep.
Jay, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go with Justin Simmons. Just continuing to quarterback this defense. Another turnover he consumes again. I mean, that's all he does is just make.
I mean that interception
gameplay.
That interception for Justin was less of a like reading the route, ball hawking than it was just being in the right
true.
place at the right time.
90%
True.
of Justice is an interception, or he's just there.
But
He's
it was
there, though.
phenomenal. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was right there.
He's in the right place at the right time. He's got instincts for what routes are, even if he's not right on the route. He's in general vicinity to, take advantage. He's always in the right place.
To make a play.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny, who's your first game ball?
All right. My first game ball of the day. I'm gonna go. Okay. I'm going offense on this one.
Ooh.
I'm giving it to Cortland Sutton. Listen, the court had some egregious drops tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Egregious drops. He's gonna get those. They're gonna take him out behind the locker room, beat him with a sock full of soap, and then they're gonna get him right,
and then get back to work.
But before they do that, you got to consider the fact that he made, and Kyle Brandt literally called it on the Manning cast. He literally said the catch of the year.
Bruh.
I mean, Russell Wilson did a great job. Hey, Mr. Wilson did an amazing job on that play. On fourth down, a spin move, running, being chased for his life, running for his life, throwing off his back foot. But he put that ball where only one person could catch it, and that's Cortland Sutton. But it was also such a placed in such a way that there was only one way that Cortland Sutton could catch it and be successful. Isaiah, you said it. In the history of Next Gen Stats, that was the lowest probability catch that has ever been recorded by Next Gen Stats at 3%. So literally 3%
chance of catching
the ball. He caught it and got us that beautiful touchdown. I swear to God, and you guys can get mad at me for saying it this way. I already said it to Isaiah once tonight. That toe drag was so perfectly executed, it almost gave me a boner.
Yes, love it.
So,
love it.
There it is.
My second game ball. Fabian Monroe.
You mean Moreau?
Fabian Moreau.
Thank
I
you.
have been, since he's replaced Damari, and Damari got put in on one play, and I didn't see him afterwards. It was 3rd and 16, and the Bills got it. And Damari, I hadn't seen him for the rest of the game. Fabian Monroe.
It's not Monroe.
I'm not saying Monroe. I'm saying Monroe.
Okay, bye.
I'm saying Monroe. Fabian Monroe has been almost elite on that other side.
I think he's solidified his place.
He's making a case. Him and Jaquan are making a case. Hey, this is the secondary right here. Don't move. On that Josh Allen terrible throw, Fabian Monroe was right there.
Yeah, he read that.
Right there. I mean, he had a couple pass breakups, and this is every week. He's showing that, along with Jaquan, it's not a fluke. I'm the real deal. And
my God,
he's making Patrick Man's job that much easier. So, I mean, when you take away Stephon Diggs, you go to Gabe Davis. What happened when Josh Allen went to Gabe Davis? Pick off by Fabian Moreau. That's how you do it. So I'm gonna give him the game ball.
I like it.
Jay, who's your second game ball?
I mean, honestly, just the consistency that comes from handing the ball off to number 33. Javonte's back. I mean, he's back.
Now he didn't have high stats this game. He did not.
But he was consistent. He never fumbles the ball. He never does anything stupid, and he always falls forward for a couple yards.
Receiving
he never goes backwards.
I mean, he had 21 attempts for 79 yards for a grand total of about 3.8 yards per attempt.
And a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, he did have that.
Russell Wilson led the offense down the field in a response, and we scored. We went up, and Javonte Williams got that touchdown. It was a great play. It was a play that Sean Payton had mentioned in press conference all week that he said it's been there, it's been open, and he's wanted it, but it just hasn't been able to, it hasn't come to fruition. And that was there where he finally did the play action naked, the naked boot. And Javonte Williams was wide open for the touchdown, and it was done to perfection.
Jonathan Blair says he's all in on P. Ryan.
Yeah.
EBK 303 said, I thought Russ had a great game. So, I mean, but I'm with you, Jay. I think Pookie Williams, he does his thing, man. I mean, Kyle Brandt again said it. Now I said it to Isaiah on the show or like during the game. Kyle Brandt for me is like, this is how I know that he's a great sports commentator, because half the time I love him and half the time I hate him.
Yeah.
You know, like there's guys like Skip Bayless I hate. Stephen A. Smith, hate him. And then there's guys I love. Peter Schrager, love him. James Palmer, love him. Kyle Brandt splits the difference for me. He like 1 minute I love him, and the next minute I think he's the most obnoxious child, and I can't stand listening to him. But he straight up said it. Like Pookie made a little bit of a run. I think he had 7 yards on that carry. And it was a hard one. And Kyle Brandt, the king of the angry run scepter, the man who grants the angry run scepter, said one of the angriest runners in the game.
100%.
Kyle
100%.
Brandt needs to sit down, says Jonathan Blair. I love it.
I'm more on that side than anything.
Yeah. It's a good thing that we have we have a future interview with Peter Schrager and not Kyle Brandt right now. Because I and we do, by the way, guys, get ready, because hopefully soon, Mr. Peter Schrager of Good Morning Football will be here on the Orange and Blue Network, talking to us on the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. All right, this is my turn. Yeah, last game.
Yeah, it is.
Last game, ball.
Last ball.
Jay, I'm stealing from you from last week.
Ooh.
Vance Joseph
Ooh.
gets yet another game ball to take this team from the team that they were to start this season out, to dropping a 70 burger against the Miami Dolphins, to now giving up. Let's see, where are we at now? We've given up, I think, less than, on average, 15 points a game now.
Yeah.
Last week was 15 points a game. Average gone up a little bit.
Okay, maybe gone up a little. So 18 points, maybe.
How many points did they score?
Still far under average.
Yeah. So listen. To be able to take the defense that was struggling so bad that they let the Miami Dolphins put up 70 against them, to now back-to-back weeks beating the Chiefs and the Bills, and the defense finally again is literally the star of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was. The offense did a great job. Russell Wilson did a great job. This game would not have been possible had it not been for the dominance of the Denver defense.
Agreed.
And that whole thing starts with VJ.
Yeah.
So Vance Joseph gets yet 2 weeks in a row another game ball.
Yeah, and this defense is just playing. They're playing lights out, and they're they're happy and enjoying playing for Vance Joseph. They understand his scheme. They understand their role. And now who was it that said it? I believe they said players aren't trying to do too much now. They're just doing their job.
They're doing their job.
And now they got their scheme, and now it's the turnover machine. Now they're able to play. Now Justin Simmons is able to sit back and just get a tip ball. Now Fabian Monroe is able to play man coverage and get comfortable and do what Damari Mathis couldn't, which was step up on the other side of PS2 and take the load and get interceptions. Jaquan McMillan has showed up and shown that he's not a fluke, that he means business. Zach Allen's having a great season. Baron Brown, Nick Benito got a couple good pressures. Not one pressure by Nick Benito led to a Fabian Moreau interception. So, the defense is starting to click. We're starting to close out games. We're starting to get turnovers consistently. And now it's a defense that's to be feared. Now
Can I give a quick honorable mention?
Yeah, a half ball
to Zach Allen.
I saw that pressure up in the middle.
He was pressuring.
Yes,
his pressure on Josh Allen today. Baron Browning too, but I think I saw more Zach Allen in Josh Allen's face. Allen on Allen.
Yeah.
More times tonight than anything else. I'm not giving him a game ball. If he'd gotten a sack, he probably would have gotten one from me.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but the pressure he put on him forced Josh Allen to make bad decisions.
And honestly, in that same vein, I think in games like this, we need to always give a ghost game ball to PS2 because we didn't hear his name, and that's a good thing.
Well, no, I can't believe we haven't brought the stat yet. Are you ready for this?
We did.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, fine. I'm going to say it again.
Diggs?
Manning up against Stephon Diggs allows Stephon Diggs, one of the most elite wide receivers in the league, to catch the ball one time for 10 yards.
Man,
I don't think Stephon Diggs has ever felt like that. Had that happened to him in his career.
It's the Bailey effect, man. Of like, if you don't hear his name called, he had an elite game. An elite game of just blocking things down.
7 teams called to trade for him and 3 made offers. And they said, no, he's the best cornerback we've ever seen in this organization. We're good. And then he comes out tonight and just shuts down Stephon Diggs.
That's a little nerve-wracking we've already said this. That's a little nerve-wracking, the best we've ever seen. Champ Bailey's still Champ Bailey.
Yeah.
And PS2, while he is he is playing at that level, he hasn't been here long enough, I don't think.
He's trending.
But that just shows his potential. He's year 3 and already in the conversation as the best cornerback in the Broncos uniform, and Champ Bailey played there, and there was a no-fly zone, and he's already in that conversation. So he came out and just continued to show why he's the guy.
He's done.
And one catch for 10 yards, and then we win the game. And then we held Travis Kelce the game before to 53, 57 receiving yards after he'd been tearing the league up all season, and with Surtain manned on him. So now they're starting to see, hey, we're not here to tank. We're not here to trade anybody. And then you go and beat the Chiefs and the Bills back to back. And now everybody's saying, hey, what the hell's what they cooking over there in Denver? What they got going on over there in Denver?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you beat the Chiefs and the Bills. Who do you fear? Who do you believe you can't beat?
Nobody. Honestly.
Now cleaning up.
I'm obviously still very wary of the Detroit Lions game.
Absolutely. And the Cleveland Browns.
But I'm not even worried about them so much. I'm worried about their defense. I'm not worried about their offense. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about their offense at all. The Deshaun Watson experiment in Cleveland has been a disaster.
Well, he's getting an MRI on his ankle too. He continues to get hurt.
He's injury prone all year. All year. Injury prone. So we got the Justin Jefferson may or may not be back next week. Josh Dobbs on his Cinderella story. It's time that we end that next Sunday night.
I'm still not worried about Josh Dobbs. I never have been.
I wish that we weren't going to.
We just beat Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I'm not worried about Josh Dobbs.
I wish that we weren't going into the Minnesota game Sunday night to get to 500.
Sure,
because it feels like we should be well above 500. But now we beat the Chiefs and the Bills. But we beat the Chiefs and the Bills to get back to 500. Who else does that?
Let me say this. Lions? Let me say this to you guys, though, in response to what you just said. Okay, if Sean Payton was not in his first year with a brand new coaching staff that had to complete an install and get a team used to it, if this was his second year here, there is zero chance we would be trying to get to 500 right now.
Yep.
Okay. We yes, it sucked. Yes, it hurt, but we have to remember that the Broncos were still literally installing an entirely new scheme on both sides of the ball this season, and it took 7 weeks.
And it looks like our defense has got it, but it doesn't even look like our offense is to full potential.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry about that.
We haven't even hit our true potential yet because we haven't had one single game that all facets of the ball have clicked at the same time. Like we haven't played a complete game yet.
But now we just need the offense to just really just be in go mode. And then
absolutely.
And then I think the Viking game is a good game to really just, hey, we know what we need to do. We know that we can win even when we're sloppy. Let's not be sloppy and see how we can really be.
Last honorable mention for somebody, absolutely Marvin Mims on special teams. I mean, obviously he didn't get any return or any, a return touchdown or anything like that. But man, can we just talk for a second about the patience of that man in terms of running that, catch fielding and then running that ball? He looks slow. At first, it looks like he's slow, but all he's doing is biding his time until he sees his moment. And then he just tears through.
Best return
for right now. I think in this game he averaged 27 or 28 yards per not reception.
He's so small. He's got such a long stride.
Yes.
He's running very fast.
He's like a damn gazelle running through the
cheetah. He covers ground very quickly.
He was a track star in high school.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah. He doesn't run normal like a normal.
No, he does. He's got his stride. He's patient.
You run funny.
He's patient, like Johnny said. And then when he sees his gap, he's like a track star that comes out of the blocks. He just shoots it. and takes off like he's in track. And by the time you get to touch him, he's gained about 7 to 9 yards already.
Hang on, I'm gonna pull up. I want to pull up his stat real quick because I want to see what he's gotten.
While you're doing that, Jonathan Blair is saying the Avs are up 5-1 right now, and praise be Jesus for that, because it has been a firestorm over there, and we're finally over the Seattle hump, because that is 5-1 in Seattle, beating.
I love it. Oh, that feels good.
After a closed door meeting from Coach Bednar, so.
I didn't know that Jared Bednar had called a closed door meeting.
Yeah, shit got real. So here we go.
Shit got real quick.
Yeah. Well, we gave up 8 goals to the St. Louis Blues, who are awful. So
I know. I watched that game. I watched that game with tears streaming down my face.
And on the betting side, made a pretty penny on the Avalanche tonight because I knew that was coming. There was no way Nate Dogg was going to allow that.
No, not anymore. And Cale Makar's been stepping up too.
He has.
So, go Avs, go. And, the Nuggets dropped their game against the Houston Rockets last night, which sucked.
Bah humbug.
But whatever. They're still 8-2. They still have the best record in the NBA. And, they're still the Nuggets. So.
We got winners all abouts here. Winners all about, and now we got a playoff run going in football, man.
Denver is going to be a destination city for sports.
So exciting.
Period. Now, and let's just talk for 1 second. Last thing on that, real quick. I know we're coming down to the wire, but since we're saying it about Denver being a destination city for sports, let's talk about the fact that there's talks between the Walton Penner Group and the Kroenke Group, who, by the way, the Cronkies who own the Rams, if you don't remember, own the Nuggets and the Avalanche as well. That there's talk, and since they're family, brothers-in-law, there's talk between them of building a sporting complex for the Nuggets, Avalanche, and Broncos.
Love it.
Yep.
For all stadiums.
Love it.
Like with a city built around it.
It'd be a super sports mecca. I mean,
yeah, the Denver sports mecca, if you will. Love it. So, I don't know. I mean, I think for me, Jay,
what's your closing thoughts here? What's your overall closing thoughts here of the night?
My closing thoughts, now that I've had about an hour to simmer down a little bit.
Yeah, summer dawn.
My closing thoughts for this one, it was not pretty. There was a lot left to be desired. For us to start 4 drives in Bills territory and show only 6 points for that is absolutely unacceptable.
Agreed.
There was a lot of this game that just should have gone differently, but a win's a win. And winning, we've said it so many times, winning is the medicine that cures all disease.
Yep.
Okay. We've won 3 in a row now. We're on the march. They got to clean it up, but they can. And Sean Payton will see to that. So while I can fully admit it was not a pretty win, I am thankful and I am pumped to wake up tomorrow morning knowing that the Broncos have a 3rd dub in a row right now.
Yep.
Closing thoughts, Isaiah.
Let's clean it up. Let's put a complete offensive game together against Minnesota, and let's just keep it going. Let's not let off the gas. Let's not overdose on hopium. And,
Opium.
Let's put the gas pedal down. Let's guarantee a win. Let's not hope for a win. Let's guarantee a win.
I like it. I like it a lot. Jay, what about you?
Well, boys, when you take one of these U's and you take another one of these U's and you combine them, you get a W. And we're going all the way through the week with a big W. And it's nice. It's really nice to have good vibes through the week. It's nice to be able to, wear my Bronco stuff proudly. Put that chin up a little bit. It just, it feels good, to walk around town after a W, man. And I have a good feeling that this isn't going to be the last.
Nice.
We're back. We're back in a
way that like is going to be a consistent fact. So, big night, guys. Big night. We knew this was a big game, and it turned out
we did.
So excited for tonight.
It feels so good. Look above you, Jay. 3 games in a row. There's a W above you.
It's good. It's good stuff, man. So I mean, I'm gonna ride these feelings out for the rest of the week. I don't know about you boys. I'm not ready to buck them, and I'm not gonna buck them.
No, God no.
We've
So
got a whole week to buck 'em.
this week, the title of the show, "Buck Your Feelings," is us talking to Bills, to Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
Buck your feelings.
I mean, they're
Buck
used to
your feelings,
disappointment. That whole franchise is used to disappointment.
They're sitting there going, they shouldn't have won that. Yeah. You know what? Buck your feelings.
Exactly. So, well, thank you everybody for dropping in. We had quite the crowd as well. So thank you to all the regulars and to some of the new guys as well popping over.
Yeah. Please remember, guys. Please, Jay. Please.
Oh, there. To like, share, and subscribe. Anytime you want to hear more of our, chitter chatter, we're around the block talking Broncos, bucking feelings, having pre-games, and even have during the week discussions with the,
don't forget about our flagship podcast, the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, midweek on Wednesdays.
Absolutely. So you know what, guys, really appreciate it. It's been a great night. But without further ado, we'll talk Wednesday, and we'll bask in the glory that is another victory. So until then, we'll see you then, folks.
Wow, high salute.
Yeah.